Well, this was a nice way to end this great homestand. It was a tough, started out tough with Montana and then obviously the Idaho game. So to be able to say you're 4-1 in a 5-game homestand is really a nice feeling. And to win the last one for a terrific crowd. I mean, I've got to say that student section has been with us through the exam period, now through the vacation period, and then our fans are starting to come out. It's really nice to see, and I think it really helps our guys. Really does. So I want to make note of that. I mean, you guys should talk about that. I mean, this Beaver Nation is starting to catch hold, and it's really nice for our guys. With that, I'll open it up for questions. Fire away.
Portland State starts with a bucket in the second half. It's a 6-point lead. Looks like it's going to be maybe a tight game, and then you guys kind of respond to that.
Right. We, as you know, Kevin, you've been hearing me say the first 4 minutes of the second half has been sort of a weak spot. I won't say it's an Achilles heel. It's just been a weak spot for us. And at the 4-minute timeout, we actually won the first 4 minutes, but it didn't feel like it because it was almost like punch for punch, and we got a couple more in. But what happens when our guys decide that they want to start playing defense is that you end up wearing the other team's guards out. That's what I thought happened. I thought Portland State did a terrific job hanging with us the whole time, and we knew that. I mean, I'm not saying this as a surprise. In the locker room, we said these in-state rivalry games where you have guys who are from the state, live in the state, and playing against a high major school, they're going to play well. I thought we wore those guys out, and it was good to see that our guys were able to just hang in there until we had a chance to make a good separation.
You look poised from a three-point line all night tonight.
Yeah, it's not surprising to me, but we've been shooting the ball well lately, so it's nice. And actually, the three-point shot, I mean, this is the first time that we shot better from three-point than for the entire game since I've been here, and some of those three-point shots actually kept us in there. When they were making a run, we'd come back, and we were trading. They were trading twos for threes. That's always helpful. We're usually on the other end of that trade.
Were the 27 assists something that jumped out to you?
You know, someone asked me that upstairs. It doesn't. Not with this team. We've been assisting each other all year long. Now, it's just more of them because we had more shots today and scored more points, but it does not surprise me. It almost cost us because we were assisting so much that we couldn't take advantage of the fouls they were calling. They were all regular fouls, and we'd be going to the basket and get hit, and then we try and optimize the play, which we asked the guys to do, and they call a foul, and then we have to take it out. But I've been talking about the teamwork and the camaraderie of this group from day one, and that is a good stat to take a look at when you have guys spreading it around like that. But when you have Joe with 9 assists and Jared with 8, those are some next level numbers. That's really nice to see.
Craig, besides teamwork though, your guys seem really excited for each other to succeed. Is that accurate, do you think? It is, and it is a function of how close they are. And it's a function also, which doesn't get talked about a lot, about the leadership of the team. When you have leaders like Jared and Kevin McShane and Angus Brandt who are selfless, you develop that kind of environment where no one cares who scores what. I mean, our last game, we had 3 guys score 20. Not one of them's name was Jared Cunningham. And he was just as happy as anybody that we won the game. And then tonight, I don't think anybody cared about anything other than CJ got to participate in the game. I mean that bench, I was scared they were going to run out on the court when he got fouled and made his foul shots. Then he hit the 3 to take us over 100. And I said to the other coach, because what you try and do at the end of the game when you're up is not try and just rub their nose in it, but those guys were so excited playing, and there was time left. I tell them always run your offense, and we happened to make a couple of shots in the last play, and then we're running down trying to score. But that's a good attitude to have.
It's a good, really good attitude to have. But this team, what they care about is each other and winning. And you take your pick. It's 1A, 1B.
Craig, about 10 days till the Pac-12 opener. How close are you to being conference ready, and what do you think you can do?
Well, we won't, because of the way the schedule is, we won't be conference ready until we start playing in the conference. I mean, we'll have work to do. We have another game. Our motto this year has been one day at a time, so I haven't even started to talk about the conference yet. Now we have to deal with how we're going to practice tomorrow, and then the next day, and the next day, and then we'll worry about Chicago State. Then they're going to have a couple 3 days off for the holidays. So we won't know if we're ready. It'll be based on how guys come back from vacation.
Not that they can't look at a box score, but do you think you're still catching your opponents off guard with the way you guys are running your offense, scoring high points?
Brandon, I would think that since we've had so many games on television, people are aware. Coaches certainly, whether other teams' players are, I don't know. I don't think we can sneak up on anybody. I think people know that this is a different team and they're preparing for it, which makes each of our games harder than the last. And that's what we're trying to understand as a team. That's one of the learning points for this team that you've heard me talk about. We're in uncharted waters all this during this stretch of games. We've never been in a position where each game has to be harder than the last because we're playing so well that everybody prepares for us. That's what concerns me. Every single game we play from here on out, teams are preparing for us and they're ready. I mean, we saw the Pac-12 today before our game. There's a lot of teams who get knocked off. And we used to be one of those teams who would be trying to knock people off. Now we're the shoes on the other foot, and people are going to be trying to knock us off. So I don't think we're surprising anybody going forward.
How much more can you take away from a win like this when you have to face some of that adversity, take some of those punches back in that second half stretch?
Well, we always learn something. What is really nice is when you can learn stuff and still win the game. Because we learned a lot after the Vanderbilt game, and we learned a lot after the Idaho game. But you don't learn as much when you win. This was a good test for us. I mean, this was almost like the Hofstra game where it was a battle the whole way, and then you pull away and you win by 10. I think we did that game. This game was a little bit more, it wasn't quite, when we pulled away to about 14, I thought, okay, now I can breathe a little bit. And then we banged a couple of threes. That's when you put the game into the category of, okay, well, let's hope the other team says that's it, and you can sort of psychologically get them in a different point. We have to learn how to put games like that away. This was a good test for us.
Do you think your guys responded pretty well with how angry you got about the free throw difference? Did they get more aggressive to you after that?
They did. Yeah, they got my message because I told them I don't want to have to be on the refs. We have to earn our own calls, so keep going to the basket. What happened, Brandon, was that we have not made, we're 13 for 21 from three, and everybody who took one thought it was going in, so we took a couple that we could have driven. And we can't fall into that trap because when you're on the road, you got to take it in and get fouled and get to the line. So I made that clear at one of the timeouts, and then we started doing it, and we started getting some calls. Our guys, we were sort of at the mercy of shooting the ball so well. I think that's what caused the calls to be the way they were. I didn't think the refs did a bad job. I thought it's up to one team or the other to go in and get your calls. I've always thought that.
How important to finish off the non-conference portion of the schedule so we can have momentum going into the conference?
Always, we haven't had much practice at it, but I've watched other teams. It's much better winning than losing. So, with this next game, Chicago State is the most important game on the schedule right now because we don't want to lose this momentum we have. We like this momentum. We like playing with confidence, and I like seeing our team play with confidence. Anybody else? All right, thanks.